Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just marveling the greatness that is Mr. Showtime, the whole damn show. I'm just sitting there hearing voices in my head. Welcome to another episode of the Critics Collective, and we're going to talk about the rise of evolution, WWE Ruthless Aggression. Now, this is on WWE Volt. On YouTube, you can check this out. It's about an hour and 15 minutes running time, and it tells you about when SmackDown was hitting. Don't get me wrong, I'm an attitude guy. I came from attitude era, and I did go into when SmackDown was doing it, a ruthless aggression. But when you look at the fact that you had Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Triple H, and Batista, what they were able to do to the idea of a faction, the idea of taking young, old, new, past, present, future, and doing something with that is ridiculous. I don't think we right now understand how big that was for professional wrestling, indie wrestling, anything in between. Now, don't want to be rude. I'm the Dad Panther Friday streamer, content creator, master of none. If you think that's a mouthful, listen here. Hit the subscribe button, follow, and comment for more. We will greatly appreciate that as we continue the journey. Now, we're reviewing this, but we also do some wrestling on 3 count. So go ahead and check that out as well. Shameless plugs. Now, for this, I'll start with my lows, then I'll go with my highs, and we'll rate this. Okay. Now, my lows for this was it did make me think that it being an hour, and then the APA documentary that was about 30 minutes. It made me feel that I was correct in my feelings that that should have been longer because this was long. And I get it. You'll say, hey, it's two individuals, APA, damn, versus Evolution, and you're looking at four Hall of Famers at this point. That's different. You're trying to smooth it out, and I get it. So respectfully, that's just my opinion. Now, the good things that I could say from this was I did not know um, kind of the history of how this group was put together. Now I know another member that was supposed to be there, and that member, for certain reasons, was not a part of that initial push. And there was some changes made right before we got a chance to actually see this faction. If you know who that member was, go ahead and put it in the comments. But to sit there and see Triple H and all of them talk about how this faction was. Watch like I said, behind the scenes, kind of see stuff like Batista, right? Watching Batista, man, Batista, bom, 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 bom. Um, the song is now, just anyways, like um, that power, the Batista bomb, watching his maturity. You're talking about a draft class, if we can talk about drafting. You're talking about a class that came from, I think it was Ohio Valley Wrestling, like a class you really never ever seen. Um, at least public. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good classes that come out of indie wrestling or some of these smaller territories that the larger ones own, and they rotate into their performing. Um, but I mean, I think it was like, let me know in the comments who was all in there. But I felt like it was like Batista, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton. That was a ridiculous list of talent that was coming through, that they moved through that would have been NXT, but it wasn't NXT. It was Ohio Valley, that was it. And then Jim and then at that point now you got them on SmackDown. They're just right there, and you can see the green and the learning and where they were going. And watching Batista, going back to again the biggest thing that I felt from Batista, like learning the business and like really wanting to learn the business and saying, "This is crazy." I've got Triple H on one side. I've got Ric Flair. Woo, woo, be the woo, woo. I don't even need that. I don't need this cup of coffee. Woo. Honestly, I just want to jump out of the chair and fall down because Rick would just like, and I just hit the elbow. Point blank, you're watching that, right? And you're feeling that, and to go back in the conversation of what that is, and that was just awesome. So I got all the feels about it. It made me remember and respect SmackDown. Like again, SmackDown was doing some things like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Edge, the Hardy Boys in general. What else you had? I think you had the Dudleys, Christian, Gangrel and them. Who else? Y2J, Dean Malenko. Like they were Kurt motherfucking Angle. Like point blank, John Cena, you had so much that was coming out of SmackDown, and this faction had all the gold. This faction had the look, they had the suits, they were courtside at basketball games. It was just, if social media was popular like it is now, Evolution, there's no telling the amount of crossover it would have been for, I think, movies and film. I felt like you would have had them in movies and film. I felt like you would have had them in music videos. Again, you already had Ric Flair with the Amigos. Like you would have had that crossover happen because it was just something to see. I did enjoy, I guess, the breakdown that would have been Triple H, maybe because of the role he's in now. Him sitting back as a executive, if you would, and having these conversations just seems so different than when you watch him in other documentaries. And he's a wrestler. He may be behind the scenes. He may be booking and doing, producing stuff. But knowing the role he is now, I just took it was a different perspective that I enjoyed. Now, with that being said, it's time for us to rate this. Now, the way we rate things from 0 to 5. 5 being a slobber knocker, 0 being a squash match. That's just what it is. It's easy and it's done. It's finished. Wham bam, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this a 5. I'm gonna rate this a 5. Reason why I rate this a 5 is I just really like the interview and the flow of everything. I like what they were talking about. Again, you've got 4 or 5. It's more than Evolution that this pushed, if that makes sense. It's the rivalry matches that you had. It's the burn off matches you had against the individuals that's in there. You remember the thumbs up, thumbs down moment? How wild that was! Like, and then you fast forward and each one respectfully had, their run, their share run. And Hall of Famers or Hall of Famers in general, I think they're all in the Hall of Fame currently. I don't know if it's individual or if it's as a faction. And I think Triple H is in like multiple, give or take, factions and other stuff. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But that's what I say about this. I would say that I would rate this a 5. I thought the timing of it was good. I thought it was clean. It is HD. So the quality is really good. It seems like it's something recent. They don't really put kind of notes of what, I guess the production, like I normally would say, who made it and how long or whatever. But yeah, pretty cool. Now, what is also pretty cool is if you go to the WWE shop. Now, you're curious, how do I get there? How do I get there? Inside the comments or inside the description is going to be a link. That's our link, affiliate link. We're partnering with the WWE, and we're so proud to do so. If you click that link, that click lets them know, you know what, you're proud to click. But it also lets them know that we get support. And if you buy anything, we get a little kickback from that as well. We greatly appreciate that. And we use it to bring you amazing, great quality. So if you have yourself a DX shirt or an Evolution shirt, or maybe you want to get a Wrong Killings shirt, go for it. Knock yourself out. Until next time, click a lick allow. You know, hit my